All right, welcome back, my peoples. I don't know why I did that. I apologize. I do apologize. All right. So, ooh, God damn, my shit look clean though. Hey yo, chat man, my cut look clean though. Look clean though. Hey yo, chat, how I look though? I look good, chat. I appreciate you, chat. I appreciate you. But even if you don't think I look good, chat, I choose to love myself. But yeah, as you can see by the title of the video, 3 things that I learned about love at 22. I already posted one earlier. We're gonna post this one, I don't know when, but we're gonna post it sometime, somewhere. All right. 3 things that I learned. We're gonna jump right straight into the first one. And the first one is, oh Lord, community. I'm attached to the community, right? And this is about relationships. The people that are around you play a heavy part in your relationships. Those voices around you play a heavy part in your relationships. Who is around you will be the reason you would lose the love of your life, or be the reason you find the love of your life, or the reason that you make sure that you don't mess up the opportunity that God has given you with the love of your life. Your community also speaks volumes about where you are with maturity levels in relationships, right? The people that you sit around with, the people that you talk about with when it comes to relationships, the things that you tell your friends, the things that you don't tell your friends, that level, it speaks volumes. And I always advise people, look at their community. Look at the main people that they've said that they speak about relationships with, and I will also be able to give you a good guideline about what kind of person you're dealing with, right? And I've learned a lot because there was a particular time in my life where before I would generally, it felt like I was talking to girls for the man them. It was. It generally was. I remember, and what kind of started breaking me off from this particular thing was an argument we had in the GC. I remember when I texted in the GC on Snapchat one day, and I was like, if a nigga pulls up with his girl, you should not have no right commenting on how she looks. And the responses low-key had me tweet, because that's when I snapped out of it. That's when I kind of woke up, and they were talking about like, bro, if she's dead, why would I not tell him that she's dead? But I'm just gonna allow my boy to be with the ugly girl. And I was like, that's not your choice though. You know what I mean? Like, this is the moment when I started to look past beauty. I'm not gonna lie, nobody wants to be with an ugly partner, but at the same time, my version of ugly isn't your version of ugly. What you find beautiful, I may not find beautiful, but the most important thing is that you find beautiful, and this person that you're with is ticking all your boxes, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and mentally. That is the most important part. And when you start to now detach from this mindset of going to the GC and things like that, or the community that you're around kind of starts pushing you in the wrong direction, relationship-wise, you start to open your eyes, like you start to look at what exactly is your type. Not the type that other people would applaud you for having, boy or girl, right? And in that conversation, I'm saying like, okay, but the most important thing we're supposed to be worrying about is their happiness, and that's it. Why should we care whether, because at the end of the day, if she doesn't turn you on, that's not gonna be the same for bro. And even the slight comments like, hey man, whatever makes you happy, da 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 da, I don't mess with those no more. It's not your point of view. You should not be ever, as a good homegirl or as a good homeboy, ever opening your mouth and commenting on your friend's partner, physical wise. That's disgusting. I have to be plain like that. I find that extremely disgusting. That people would think that they have a right to say anything about anybody's partner, right? And let's look at the world. For example, Declan Rice. The world is so, because he's this big millionaire football player that plays for Arsenal and he's big money and all these different things, that he's supposed to have this sexy, out of this world, banging IG model type body, Victoria's Secrets type body, babes. He's with the woman that makes him happy. He's with the woman that makes him, that keeps him grounded. He's a woman that keeps him spiritually grounded. He's with the woman that makes him wake up every day, look on the side of his bed and smile. And that's what I think the downfall of a lot of men is. A lot of men are around these particular type of women, these aesthetic babes, simply for aesthetic purposes. They don't look to the side of their bed and they're happy to see you. That's why you have a lot of baby mamas. Majority of these guys, I want to sleep with you, but I don't want to marry you. You're not quality of being my wife. You're just something that the niggas will look at and be like, yeah, boy. Yeah, she fine. Yeah. So a community is very, very important. If you're dating somebody and you see the community and they are very transparent, they're very real, they speak about very important things, and you're with a good person. You're with a good person because that's the type of community where if he cheats, you don't need to do too much because they will deal with him or they will deal with her. Like I'm saying, this is for both boy and girl when you're speaking to somebody, right? Find a community where they don't play about that in their GC. When you talk to their friends, it's a thing where you're talking to friends where they won't even think about even trying anything with you behind their friend's back because they don't play like that. Communities like that speak a lot about the type of person you're dating. Because when they look back at their friends will put them straight on that path. So for me, a community is something very, very important. And what they speak about, what they do, how they view relationships, how they view girls or how they view boys, the main things, especially if it's a thing where if it's a heavy materialistic group or a heavy chop and pass group or a heavy, like there's certain groups, man, where you go inside and all they talk about is progress, money, spiritual growth, becoming a good wife or becoming a good husband, be doing this. They're the type of group where you can sit down and they're having conversations about in-depth things. Where you see maybe this side Muslim, this side Christian, they're having a healthy debate about religion. They're talking about all these particular different matters of the world. And obviously, yes, it's calm. GCs can have their stupid conversations. My GC has a lot of serious conversations. But we have the nonsense ones as well. I mean, we're going to be guys at the end of the day. But we all understand ourselves, where I can speak for my GC. We were very heavy on saying the truth to our boys and being very transparent, as in when something happens, we're going to speak on it. It may take maybe a little minute, but we're going to speak. We're going to let you know that, A, B, C, D, please. Can we communicate here? Can we do this? Can we move on? All these different little things. Now, I've been speaking 8 minutes on this topic, so let's move on to the next one. The next one is morals. I think, well, not morals, more on, how can I say this? This one's a very tricky topic, but a topic that I think needs to be debated on for me, because this is one that I haven't learned, but I'm still kind of going through the motions about it, and it's the past. I'm somebody, I have not had a insane past, but I've had fun, right? I've had fun. I have been very, I wouldn't say fully abstaining, but I have changed quite a lot in the past couple of years. I was somebody that was very party heavy. I was somebody that was very heavy on a lot of boisterous behaviors. But recently I have played down or downtoned a lot of particular things. I'm very work heavy mindset, and all these different things. And I wouldn't say this one's I've learned. This one's more like a mixture of a conversation we can have about their past and how you are able to deal with somebody's past. Because the past is something very hard, because I always tell people this: I inherit your past and you inherit my past, because how we react or how we work now is basically because of our past. I am the man that I am today because of my past, right? And I'm gonna split this in two. We're talking about the past, and I'm also talking about dealing with your past before entering a relationship, right? So we're gonna focus on this particular part first. Accepting. We're do accepting someone's past. That's how we're gonna split it. Accepting someone's past, and then making sure that you deal with your past before entering a relationship. So the first part is accepting someone's past. Accepting someone's past is, I would say, you can only decide it off works. By works, I mean what they do now. That's how you can be able to accept someone's past, right? So, for example, I'm talking to a girl that, this is an example, I'm not talking to a girl that, any girl right now, of any sort. But you're talking to a girl that, for example, was very, very wild, right? Let's say, let's bump it up. Let's say I'm 25 now, right? I'm 25, she's about 24, 19, 21, 22, she was wilding out, right? But she kind of died out all the wilding out at 22, and, okay, let's say we're both 25, so 23, 24, 2 years, she's changed. She got baptized, she changed her ways, she stopped going out, she stopped doing all these different things, and she generally changed her life for the better. And now you meet her at 25, and she explains to you about her past. And her past is very wild, right? And the reason why I say it's works that I believe would make me accept who you are now, because your works have shown that you have truly changed. As in, from your past to your now, that little gap in between, and everything that you told me and everything that I've seen you doing tells me that you've been serious. That I can look at you and then I can say, I trust you, and your past doesn't mean anything to me, because you are now a woman that is that you know, try your best to live modestly, that you try your best to hold yourself to different standards, that you try your best not to be swayed by all these worldly things, and you're doing A, B, C, D. Because now I can say you're holding yourself to a good standard. You're generally dealing with your traumas. You're generally pushing yourself in this particular light. And what you were in your past isn't who you are now. And your works are there to show. So with that, I would say I can accept you. I can walk forward with this different things, because you have now kept true to your word, kept true to your works, and kept true to your journey. But then there's another aspect of it where I'm not going to accept you for your past if you are generally on rubbish. You get what I mean? Like, there's no way I can come up to you and say, I'm a serial cheater, but for you, I'm going to change. Rubbish. And I always tell people this. Stop being so persuaded by emotions and in the moment type of rubbish. If they do not have any history, and I'm be very honest with people, I always tell this, if they do not have any history currently, where it's been a good year or a good, even 6 months, is not enough. It has to be a year and above, where they have genuinely taken steps into changing their character. And now you can see, because of their works, that they are now ready for a relationship. And whatever that they're saying is true, because their actions back everything that they say. If you're not talking to anybody like that, I promise you, they are not ready to change yet. Just because it's lovey-dovey in the moment, that is not enough to make any human being change. Human beings need time to change. No one can wake up the next day and say that I'm not going to be the same person I was yesterday. It's impossible. Those habits are still in your blood. You need to stop smoking by waking up the next day and say, I'm gonna stop smoking. It don't work like that. You're not gonna stop drinking the next day because you just want, it don't work like that. You're not gonna stop having sex, you're not gonna stop going clubbing, you're not gonna stop doing all those different things by just waking up the next day and saying I'm gonna stop. It don't work like that, right? So in order to accept someone's past, and in order to believe what they're saying now, is by works, and that is the only way that happens. When you generally look at them and you're like, yes. But any problem they currently have now, allow them. Allow them, let them finish, let them do whatever they need to do, because I promise you, they are going, and the thing is, I can't really blame them for failing you down the line, because they were never ready. Even though maybe they wanted to deep down inside, but they weren't ready. This covers all different bases. This covers spiritual, this covers mental, this covers physical. If they are an addict when it comes to alcohol or sex or smoking, even though they're in love with you, they may really love you at the bottom of their hearts, but it is in them. They need time to clear it out, to remove it from themselves. Same thing with the spiritual standpoint, where if you are somebody that is on fire, whether you're an on fire Muslim, an on fire Christian, an on fire Buddhist, whatever it may be, right? Do not talk to somebody that they classify in that religion, but they're not on fire. I promise you, they're not going to click into gear just because they're in love with you. That needs a good time separated from everything, separated from relationships, to work on themselves, and now they can be able to now, because they put in the work to change and become this particular version that you saw that they could become, but they're not going to become that in relationship. So I feel like that's my take on accepting people's past. And the other half of it is fixing your past before entering a relationship. People who do not generally, and this is also the period of singleness. This is something, now we're going to religious aspect of it in the Bible. And the Bible teaches us that your period of singleness must be a period of growth spiritually, must be a period of growth within, and must be a period of growth. You must sit down and acquire and also read your Bible and also put all these particular works inside, so you now can grow to a different level of your life. And that is when you are single. But Bokuma, they really can single, they can just useless. They think being single is now time to sleep and have sex and and now when somebody comes inside, oh, I'm just because they come into my life, I'm ready for a relationship. That's not how it works. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Just because that person comes into your life, those habits aren't going to die overnight. They're not. When you were single, you were not preparing yourself for the relationship. If you want to get married, if you want kids, when you are single, build yourself up to that standard. Go and learn what it takes to be a husband. Go and learn what it takes to be a wife. Go and learn what it takes to have kids. Go and learn what it takes to become a potential mother, to become a potential father. Go learn what it takes to be a good partner. On all three aspects. You know the four aspects. I'm not going to repeat them again, right? If you cannot sit down in your period of singleness, and this is also whatever traumas you have from your past, mental traumas, physical traumas, spiritual traumas, whatever traumas you have, when you are single, that is the time for you to start dealing with them. Do not pack them in a bag, put them to the side, and when your partner comes, for example, a big one is trust issues, right? A lot of people don't want to sit down and work on their trust issues when they're single. They go package out, make as if they don't have it. When the relationship comes now, the trust issues, you peek through the bag, and they're like, you don't feel new pussy? Alright, let's do it. Let me make my grand entrance. Those trust issues will come flying right out of that bag, bro. Cause you ain't even closed the bag properly. You left that little buckle. You didn't tighten that buckle real good, so that it gonna bust out, bro. You end up, another big thing is you end up going to go date somebody that doesn't want to have sex. For example, the boy who's very actively having sex and the girl who has not had no sex in her life. Mind you, this is the religious boy as well, right? But he's actively having sex. The girl who's a religious girl not having sex. He's here telling himself, well, now he's finally single. Instead of him working on himself, preparing for you, and he wants to marry. This is something very good. He wants to marry. He wants to be a husband. He wants to be a father. She wants to marry. She wants to be a wife. She wants to be a mother, but she wants to have kids inside wedlock. She wants to have kids. She wants to have sex after marriage. You've already done this, and he's repented several times. He's trying his utmost best. Right? He's trying his utmost best, but it's not working. When you are single, right? Now starts to break down these mental problems that you have. So when God finally brings this person into your life, you are ready to understand, saying, yes, I've had sex before, but I am now at a junction in my life where I understand the value of having sex after marriage, and I've repented and I want to do it properly with you, and I do not want to lead your body into sin. But I promise you, when you do not do these particular things when you're single, as in work on yourself and chop down all the particular stuff, you're going to mess up. You're going to mess up. Because those things will come back. The moment somebody enters your life, they're going to come back. If you have detachment issues, if you have trusting issues, if you have all these communication issues, they're going to come back. When you're single, these issues don't bring up, because everything that around you is flings and blah, blah. The moment something serious comes into your life, they're going to flare right back up. And the moment they flare, it's not going to be good. So when you are single, please deal with your past, deal with your problems, deal with them. So when your period of singleness is over, especially if you're religious, understand that you're single because God sees that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. That's why you're single. Two things. And if you're not single, I promise you that person isn't God sent. You found that person. God ain't sent you that person. You found them, you took them, and God's like, I give you that person. That's not the person I ordained as your husband or as your wife. That one, you will deal with that one. And then you set yourself back 3-4 more years of hard work and labor mentally because, but yeah, I feel like I'm giving you guys 3 points already. But I'm gonna round it up now with the last point. And the last point for me, what I've learned is, not gonna lie, this one, I'm not gonna lie, this one's more me. I feel like it's more of a share. I wouldn't, because I wouldn't say this is something other people can understand because it's strictly just me. But body types don't actually exist, if that kind of makes sense. I just feel like they just need to turn you on, if I'm making sense. Like body types. The notion of body types is rubbish because they just need to turn you on. Like I don't get body types. Like when somebody asks me like, what exactly is your body type? Whatever I find attractive or whatever gets me going, I think. I just wanted to say that. This is not even like what I've learned. This is just me saying that I think the term body types is just stupid. What is body types? Like when we're talking about body types, like okay, yeah, I like a big bum and I like a tall man and this, but really and truly, 90% of us don't even date the type that we talk about. And even if we date the type we talk about, that type is the reason why we're not successful in relationships. Because most body types are strictly driven off physical. You're not even looking at anything mental or spiritual or like morals and stuff like that. Just looking straight off what gets you going. And you end up dating your body type, but you're not dating the person you're supposed to be with. Ooh, that's a bar. Yeah, that's a bar. I click that one. I ain't gonna lie. You're dating your body type, but you're not dating the person you're supposed to be with. You're dating the woman that turns you on, but you're not dating the woman that's supposed to live your life with. The woman you'd want to sleep with, but the woman you would not want to marry. I'm flowing with that one. But yeah, that was my little 2 cents. Goodbye.